好，今天我要和志飞说说，为什么我们不可以和爸爸妈妈住在一起？
She said, today me and Jeffrey are going to talk about why we cannot live together with our parents.
我知道志飞不喜欢和爸爸妈妈住在一起。
She said, I know that Jeffrey does not like to live with her parents.
对不对？
素琴，对。
So Sutin just said, is that right? And Jeffrey said, that's right.
我不可以和我的爸爸妈妈住在一起。
She said, I can't live with my parents.
我可以和他们一起1天、2天，不可以3天，不可以住在一起。
So she said that she could live with her parents 1 day or for 2 days, but not for 3 days or longer.
明白。好，我也不可以，我不喜欢。我可以，可是我不喜欢。对，第一天我
She said, I can, but I don't like to.
不喜欢，第二天、第三天、第四天，每一天我都不喜欢。
She said each day I wouldn't like it.
为什么，素清？
She said, why, Suting?
第一个点，是因为我的妈妈不是一个很干净的人，所以
Okay, so she said that the first reason is because her mom is not a very clean person.
有的东西，对。
She said everything is just gross.
所有的东西，不干净。
Everything is not clean.
每次我和妈妈吃饭，我看这个碗，不干净。
Like, for example, when she's eating a meal and she said, with a bowl, like if she's looking at a bowl, it's not clean.
我看筷子，不干净。
She said, I see the chopsticks and they're not clean.
对，所以每次吃饭我很害怕这个。
She said, so every time that I eat a meal, I'm very scared.
不干净，筷子不干净，对。
She says it's not clean. This podcast is actually very easy to understand. It's almost a little too easy. I don't know if it's just because it's pretty early in the podcast, but I'm not struggling at all to understand this.
我的妈妈不是一个干净的人，我不喜欢。你呢？
So she just repeated that her mom is not a clean person, and that she doesn't like it. And then she asked, Jirfei, what about you?
素琴，我的爸爸妈妈都是很干净的人。他们的家很干净。
So she said, Suqing, my family, my mom and my dad are very clean people. Everything, or their whole house, or everything in their house is very clean.
碗，很干净，筷子也很干净。可是我也
So she said, the bowls and the chopsticks are all very clean. But
也不想跟我的爸爸妈妈住在一起。
But she does not want to live with her mom and dad.
我在家的时候，如果我在工作，我爸爸看到我在工作，他会说：“志飞，去走路。”
对，
如果
So she said if she is working, or so whenever she's at their house and she is working, if her dad sees that she is working, he will ask her, Jifei, do you want to go? Choose Lu. That's like, do you want to go for a walk? I guess, but I mean, it's not even a question because she just said choose Lu. That's like a statement. Like, are you like? I guess your face go for a walk.
如果我在外面，我不在家里，我在走路散步，他会说：“志飞，去工作。”
Oh, okay, I get it. So she's actually stating that her dad is commanding her, or telling her, like when she's working, he says, "Go take a walk," like as a command. 去走路. But if she's going for a walk, he will come and he will tell her, "Go work." So he's commanding her to do these things.
如果我在睡觉，他会说：“志飞，起床，去学习。”
She said, if I am sleeping, he will come and he'll say, Jifei, wake up and go study.
好的，
如果我在学习，我在看书，
She said, if I am studying, if I'm reading a book, I imagine he's going to tell her to go to sleep.
志飞去看电视。
Oh, so actually, if she's reading a book or studying, he will tell her to go watch TV.
苏晴，我很难，
我明白。
我做的事情都不对，都不。
So she said, Suqing, I'm very tired. Everything that I do is not right. Next month, Xia Wang and their friends are going to take a trip in the mountains. They have heard that within the mountains there is a beautiful lake. So they decided to go take a look. I guess Chu Fang? What is that? Not sure what this is. But it's yeah. At 7 o'clock in the morning they, I guess, set off or went. They left. Where they sat for 3 hours. Oh, I guess it took a 3-hour ride to get there. Something like that. Like it took a 3-hour ride to get there, and then after arriving, they discovered the lake比较偏离的海漂 I guess it's like was prettier than in the pictures. I guess they discovered that it looked better than in the pictures. The lake's water was very clean. Around a lot of trees and flowers. Around the lake, there's a lot of trees and flowers, maybe. 下午 in the afternoon, they rented a small boat. On the lake, they played for 2 hours. They played in the lake for 2 hours. Suddenly, the weather changed. It started to rain heavily because they didn't carry an umbrella. They only they only ran to the closest home. They ran to a nearby restaurant. The boss of the restaurant was very welcoming, very friendly, kind-hearted, but gave them hot tea and told them nearby that there are some fun places nearby. After the rain stopped, Xiao Wang and his friends continued their trip, and they had a very good time. After returning home, Xiao Wang I guess sent the pictures to his family. He said, although it rained, this time the trip still was very successful. Last month, Xiao Wang and his friends went on a trip to the mountains. They had heard that there was a very beautiful lake there, so they decided to go see it. They left at 7 o'clock in the morning and had to ride in a car for 3 hours before arriving. After they got there, they discovered the lake was even more beautiful than it looked in the pictures. The water was very clean and there were many trees and flowers around it. Okay, cool. In the afternoon, they rented a small boat and spent 2 hours on the lake. Suddenly, the weather changed and it started to rain heavily. Because they had not brought umbrellas, they had no choice. Oh. So that's this part. 只好跑到. They had no choice but to run into a nearby restaurant. So to say they had no choice, you would say 只好. Yeah. The owner of the restaurant was very friendly. Not only 不但还. Okay, yeah, I know that one. 不但还 is a sentence pattern, means not only but also. Not only did he give them hot tea, but he also told them about interesting places nearby that they could visit. After the rain stopped, Wang and his family. Okay. After returning home, Wang sent the photos to his family and said, although the trip was still very successful. So yeah, I pretty much translated it. There were some sentence structures that I wasn't familiar with, but I just learned, like 只好 is how you say had no choice but to do something, and then 不但还 means not only but also. 昨天因为下大雨，所以我们没有去动物园。 because it rained heavily, we didn't go to the zoo. I think I put an extra comma there on accident. I also forgot to put yesterday. Yep. 虽然这家饭馆不大，但是很多人喜欢来这里吃饭。Even though this restaurant is not big, a lot of people like to eat here. Translating from Chinese to English is very easy. 我本来想坐公共汽车去学校，可是今天早上起晚了。I originally wanted to take the bus to school, but this morning I woke up late. I got up late. Yep. I heard that book is very interesting, so I want to read it. 我听说那本书很有趣，所以我要看，我想看看，我想看它，我想读它。I don't know which one I would use here. That's more of a literal translation. See what I get. That's correct. It's just K3 Chinese. Okay, cool. The weather is good today. 今天的天气很好，所以我们打算去公园。今天的天气很好，所以我们打算去公园。That's correct. Perfect. That's correct. Nice. Let's go. Okay, my friend told me that this restaurant is very cheap and the food is delicious. 我朋友告诉我，这家饭馆很便宜。Wait, how about? Oh yeah, 很便宜，才很好吃。That's basically correct and very HK3 appropriate. Okay, so small improvement. You need a connector between the two adjectives. Yeah, 而且 so I can say 我朋友告诉我这家饭馆很便宜，而且才很好吃。Although I was very tired, I still finished my homework before going to bed. 虽然我很累，我还昨晚我的作业，我去睡觉以前还做完我的作业。I think I forgot to put something. 虽然我很累 I forgot the 但是 That's right 但是我虽然我很累但是我学觉之前还是做完了作业 Oh, okay. Alright guys, I studied 3 hours this week. 2 of those hours was just passive listening through editing last week's video, and then I also listened to Lazy Chinese podcast and did some reading and translating. For speaking, my total hasn't changed. It's at 75 hours. 51 hours of passive listening, 66 hours of active listening, 12 hours of reading, almost 6 hours of writing, 12 hours of vocabulary through English or note taking, 13 hours of flashcards, and almost 11 hours of grammar study or translation practice. So total, I'm at 248 hours for the challenge. Hoping to study some more next week. And that's really it for this update. I'll see you guys later. Like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you guys next week. 再见.